This is our loving Baba lover, Mr. Jehangir Davar from Australia, who's going to share a beautiful story about this picture that is up there of Meher Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. When Baba went for the first time to England in September 1931, there was a lot of publicity of his arrival that was done by Meredith Starr, his English disciple, and every, everybody in England, in London especially, knew that Baba was coming and that he was the Messiah and so on and so forth. Now, Baba did his work, as is well recorded in the biography, but amongst the people who read the newspaper account of the Messiah coming to England, there was a Japanese photographer. His name was called Imai, I-M-A-I. Imai. He was very well known and he had a lovely studio in High Street, Kensington, which is one of the very posh suburbs of London, very close to Buckingham Palace. So one day I went to visit him in his studio, and I said, I've come to buy the photos which you had taken of Baba in 1931. So as soon as I said that, he said, ha, Shri Meher Baba. At that time he was not known by Avatar Meher Baba. He was called Shri, which is a honorific title of respect to a saint. So he said, how is Shri Meher Baba? And I said, he's fine. So then I started talking to him and I said, tell me a little bit about how you took his photos. Because Imai took 6 photos of Baba in different poses. It's there in The Perfect Master and other biographies. So Imai said, he was a wonderful client. He was a wonderful client. And he started describing to me, you see, because he was an absolute perfectionist, and he would attend to his work with such great diligence and care, and Baba must have liked that trait in him very much. That one day, Imai wrote to Chanji and said, I would like to take pictures of this Messiah that has come from India. So Chanji arranged the meeting. And of course, Baba knew everything, being all wise, all knowing. So he agreed to come. And so Imai welcomed him and so on. And then Imai started in his usual professional way. He tells Baba, put your hand under your chin, and then he put a little bit of powder puff, on Baba to blot out the little, yes. And all this went on for nearly 45 minutes. And the funny part of it is that Baba, he narrates to me that I was very pleased that the personality of Meher Baba, he agreed like a small child to every request of mine to take his photo. And Baba was so sweet and so cooperative that he was my best client. And of course, as I said, Baba knew at heart also he was a wonderful person. It was a joy to talk to him. And then I said, I'll pay you. I want the negatives of all the 6 photos that you have taken. So he said, yes, I'll give them to you. So on the day I went, appointed day, he made me sit down and said, yeah, I've got the basic photos ready, but you'll still have to wait for about half an hour. I said, that's fine. Why? Because even on the negatives, he wanted to make touches so that if I tried to get positives out of the negative, they would come out perfectly. He was so, very, very fine man. Yeah. He was very short, very, very short, and bald in hair. He had married an English wife. There's no other photo. This is the only photo in which you go to any angle and you'll see Baba's eyes looking at you. Looking at you. So his grace is there in this photo, abundantly. Yeah, that's why I love it very much. Look at the compassion in his eyes. Such a soft, beautiful, beautiful uh, glow comes out of this picture. Of course, his lovely mustache, just that heightens his beauty. So,
what did you do with the negative?
sorry?
What did you do with the negative?
Yeah, I've got them with me in Sydney.
Wow. Can we get a set of positives?
First time in 1956, he brought with him this picture and he gave it to Bill LePage, the Australian disciple, in whose house he was staying. And in the main uh, reception room where this picture was, one day Baba points to the picture and says to Bill LePage, "How beautiful was I at one point in my life. Uh, my disciples, I had so much energy, my disciples couldn't cope with me when I was walking. When I was walking, they had to run after me. I had such tremendous energy." So this was taken in Meherabad.
Yeah, under that tin shade, right? This
Yeah.
under that tin shade where Baba's Gadi is there.
Very beautiful.
I think this thing should also be there.
It's a support of the roof.
तो रहेगा ना ये अभी?
But look at its beauty and those couples. And as you saw in so many movies, he was always working non-stop. Somehow or the other, you see with other masters also. They always move fingers. God knows what work they are doing in the spiritual world, but they must be accomplishing something really great. I would like to feel that with just one flick of his finger,
Lifted the mountains
he's
in
generating millions of volts of energy and sending it to the world.
In You Alone Exist, the shot of his finger is there where he's doing this and it says, with one finger alone lifted the mountains. Jai
See,
Meher
Krishna,
Baba.
Lord Krishna is
That is the
supposed
You
to
Alone Exist
hold-
line. Yeah.
Hold the Govardhan mountain.
During east-west gathering, continues to move his fingers.
His fingers, yeah.
Yes.
Jai Meher Baba. Meher Baba ki Jai.
Baba had a very important disciple, English disciple. Quentin Todd was his name. He was in the media and cinema and communications industry. And when Baba went to England, he was the one who undertook all the PR work on behalf of Baba. And he came very close to Baba. He was one of those very few fortunate ones who was with Baba in Assisi, in Italy, when Baba was sitting in that cave one evening for his spiritual work. And when he finished his spiritual work and came out of that cave, he was so high on spiritual bliss that two of his disciples had to hold him and literally, like when you smash a toy, they had to thump him so that he could come down to the worldly sort of sphere. He was absolute radiance. Quentin thought was present on that occasion. Then afterwards, Quentin thought, unfortunately, no. See, this is what happens in the life of human beings. When you start using your brain, mind, you're gone as far as Baba is concerned. As you well know, I need not repeat. Baba is all heart, zero head, and when the thought started drifting slowly, doubts began to creep in his mind whether Baba was really Christ in human form. One day, Baba was in a very good mood, and he gathered together his intimate disciples, and a special bottle of wine was opened, and he poured that wine in a glass for all of them present, and he personally handed that wine. That wine, in physical terms, is liquid, but in spiritual terms, is the wine of divine love, given by the hand of God Himself. Can you imagine the fortune of those who received that wine from Him? Unfortunately, Quentin thought when Baba offered him the wine, he said, "No, Baba, I don't drink." When he said that, oh my God, Baba's eyes. In India, people would just fall head over heels to get that prasad from him. And look at his disciple, he's using his head instead of accepting the wine, getting the maximum spiritual benefit out of it. That was his destiny, that was his fortune. And he died finally. He died a terribly disillusioned man. He died in England during the Second World War. He died of malnutrition.
Oh my God.
Couldn't get enough food to eat. So that is.
Jai Meher Baba. Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba.
Baba's younger brother Adi used to live in the suburb of Barnes in London. And one day when I went to his house for dinner, he was in a very good mood. So he started talking about Baba's trip to England. Baba went by SS Rajputana, the boat, and during that trip, Hari was in charge of Baba's clothes and his comforts, his shaver, and so on and so forth. Now, what had happened is, Hari had, after that trip, acquired a liking for smoking pipes. So that it started increasing to such an extent that he would spend whatever savings he had in buying very nice decorative pipes, some made of different materials. And on the next boat trip, Baba of course had a separate cabin, and one day Baba went up and Adi was in the cabin, and he said to himself, "Wow, that's a very nice opportunity for me to enjoy a good smoke." So he lights up his pipe and he starts puffing at it. And all of a sudden, Baba comes down in the cabin. So when he comes down, you can see, his flashing eyes. What is all this smoke, as usual, and with such stern look in his eyes that Adi was really shaking. And after that incident, what happened is that he felt so guilty within himself that he threw his whole collection of pipes into the sea.
We were same.
Yeah. And of course, Baba knew everything. So after a while, no more smoking, no more pipes collection. So Baba asked him, "Adi, have you stopped smoking?" So he said, "No, Baba. Once upon a time you came and I felt very uncomfortable that you were displaced." And Baba said, "I told you not to smoke in the cabin. I didn't tell you to give up smoking altogether."
Really.
Yeah.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai
Avatar
Meher,
Meher Baba ki Jai.
You know, his sweetness was really, it is something that pulverizes you. His sweetness pulverizes you. It's such crushing sweetness he has got. His beautiful ways of doing everything.
Lovely.
Jai
Jai
Meher
Meher
Baba.
Baba.
You can understand and feel how Shrinmai must have felt.
Yeah.
You know, to hold
That
the
child.
God child in her arms. What joy she must have got. No wonder she was so distraught once he left the family home in Pune. Of course,
And the humiliation she went through
yeah,
when people made fun of her.
she had to put up with so much suffering. You know, she was completely ostracized by the Orthodox Zoroastrian community.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
It's yours?
Lovely session.
Thank you so much. And came from to my God. It added so much to it, because we had not planned.
Then Baba says, please.
Yes. And he needed the
This is in Baba's handwriting. This is the M of Baba's signature. And this beautiful frame is at MPR, the Meher Pilgrim Retreat at Meherabad. These are glimpses of Meherabad. This is Baba's hands with the alphabet board. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.